So, in the 70s, when Marvel actually got the rights to Conan to make comic books about that famous character, uh, fans be, uh, got drawn to that genre. And not only with Lord of the Rings, and even at that time, Dungeons and Dragons were actually a big part. Uh, Conan was definitely in a position where a lot of people started really liking the comic books. Uh, the guy who wrote Conan, to begin with, also wrote other stories, and one of the other characters that he actually came up with, we're talking about Robert E. Howard. One of the characters, which we're going to be talking about really quick, is Kull. Uh, Kull the Conqueror is another Conan ripoff, same fantasy sword playing world, and he hit the comic scene. Still written by Robert E. Howard, hit the comic scene uh, in the early 70s. So he had a quick cameo in Conan the Barbarian. And then I believe he had a short story in Creatures on the Loose, issue 10. And when they actually dedicated a series to him, Stan Lee and got together with writers Roy Thomas. There was Rossa Drew, Wally Wood, colorist Marl Severin, and Stan Lee was actually the editor of this particular series. And to give you a quick sum up before we continue, because I don't have very many issues to show you. This is the issue 1. This is his first full appearance, full first comic line that he had. But to sum it up, is when the king gets to play, you have a reigning king that spends far less time on the throne than he should, and in doing so gives us fun adventures to follow. And when they first started the series, the art was great. It definitely followed upon that line. It was very Ditko, Kuber. It was along the what fans were looking for. But as it went on into later issues, the art definitely did fail. It just wasn't as good. They did try and resurrect this guy for a while. He has made appearances since his 73 debut, to the point where they tried to make a film. Kevin Sorbo was Kull. He was a barbarian named Kull, unexpectedly becomes king after an old king whom Kull has just killed in a battle gives his crown to him, but direct hears of the killed king trying to topple Kull and regain the throne, bring an old witch queen back to life. Their plan backfires, and now Kull is fighting demons to try and keep rule of this kingdom. That was the movie. And that was a fantasy film. It definitely, they tried to make that the third in the Conan film series. So basically, that Kull movie was going to be trying to continue Arnold Schwarzenegger's role, but because he refused to bring his role as Conan, that's when Kevin Sorbo stood up, and then that's when they had to reinvent that series. So it is an older series. It came out in 1971, so it's 2013 January. So 40-year-old comic almost, 42-year-old comic, still relatively cheap, even for higher grades. We're talking at this time, we're still talking like a 10, maybe a $20 comic, and still relatively easy to get because a lot of people aren't picking up sword and sorcery comics right now. So for someone to actually try and get into this series, or even to get some as an investment, definitely it is the time to grab a couple of issues. This I just paid $5 for, probably, I don't know, 6 months ago. Read it, good story. The art's what you see on the cover is what the art is like on the inside. It's actually holds together quite well. I haven't read much more after this because I just don't have those issues available to me at this time. But we'll look into them because it definitely is a comic that's relatively cheap and easy to get into if you're looking for this kind of a theme in a comic book. And I would say for the price tag and for the art, it's definitely worth the $5. Because I mean, what can you buy for $5 now? You can't even get a burger at McDonald's. But I hope you enjoyed your little bit of history lesson on Kull the Conqueror. Stay tuned. We're going to continue with our series of comic books as I'm digging through boxes. I have lots of comics to dig through, and as I come across a standalone issue or a series of comics, I'm going to try and give you a little history lesson. Thanks for watching. Bye.